Hello everyone! One of the most favorite features in The Sims 2 for me is the ability to create and customize a neighborhood where players can do whatever they want. You can simply click Create a new neighborhood in main menu, choose a pre-made map, and just go ahead to express your creativity. However, if you want a completely custom hood starting with its map, landscaping and residents, I will tell you that this process has own nuances. Therefore, I would like to share my personal experience of neighborhood creation in the game and maybe give you a few useful tips. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. Just so you know, I have split it into 10 steps. Step 1. Planning a neighborhood. It is important to have some ideas how your neighborhood will look. Is it going to be a small village or a big city? Maybe you want to create a medieval kingdom or futuristic megapolis. It all depends on you. When I was creating Riverville, I got inspiration from a variety of games, TV shows, and of course from the Sims community. I remember I began to watch Yodely's renovation series on YouTube in my free time, and I just got hooked and wanted to create something on my own. By the way, I will add links of the useful resources in the description under this video. So yeah, originally I created Riverville back in 2018 with a bunch of custom content. I uploaded screenshots of the hood on my Twitter account and made the first ever Sims video on this channel. People loved it and they were asking if I could share the hood publicly. At first I was like, but there is too much custom content, it will be terrible if I just drop it on the internet and broke other Simmers' game. And believe me, at that time my download folder was a complete mess. So I decided to remake it with Maxis items only, and I think I did the job pretty well. But I made some technical mistakes, such as forgetting to add some important memories or to give necessary skills for Sims. Plus, English is not my native language, so it was another challenge for me when it came to writing family stories and Sims biographies. Surely I made some grammar and vocabulary mistakes. However, as time passed, I did some fixes and updated the neighborhood file on Sim File Share. So I'd like to say, don't be afraid of making mistakes. It's totally fine. I see Riverville as a small oasis of happiness separated into two districts, residential and central. Well, it is quite obvious why I named the neighborhood like this, since it is separated by the river. I made a list of characters, thought over how the relationship were going to be with each other, and definitely what lore I should add to the neighborhood. Yes, the lore is very important, and I am meaning to make another video about the lore of Riverville in the future. Certainly, I spent enough time planning community lots such as restaurants, parks, museums, libraries, arcades, gyms, and so on, while being in the process of creating the neighborhood map, which means we are heading to the next step. Step 2. Creating a map for your neighborhood. If you want to create a custom map for your neighborhood, you will need SimCity 4. Before entering the game, it's better to have a plan, and for this process I would like to suggest you to use Hood Planner, made by Great Cheesecake Persona. The creator who also made Clean UI for The Sims 2, so I would like to give a big shout out to them. The thing is that created maps in SimCity 4 become completely mirrored for some reason and look totally opposite in The Sims 2. So the common mistake we make in this process is that we simply create a map thinking it will look exactly the same, and then when we enter The Sims 2 all excited to create a hood, the map we prepared looks absolutely different from what we expected to see. Mostly, it discourages players to go further. That's why I advise you to use Hood Planner. It helps to convert a plan of your map from The Sims 2 to SimCity 4 so you can be sure what map you are making for your neighborhood. It's pretty easy to use. You can place roads, mark your neighborhood areas, add water, etc. After you finished it, you need to click Convert it. Okay, let's say our plan is ready, and now we can head to SimCity 4. You should choose small plot sizes in your region, otherwise your map will not appear in The Sims 2. So we are here and ready to go in full God mode to modify the terrain, add some trees and water. Then we go to Mayor's mode and come up with a name for our town. Time to add roads. Alright, our map is made. Now we need to save and exit the game. So where can we find the map file? We need to enter Documents, and then find SimCity 4 folder, click Regions, and here we should see the region where we prepared our map. And here we have our file. We copy it, and then go back to Documents where we head to EA Games, Then The Sims 2 or The Sims 2 Ultimate Collection, depending on what version of the game you have. Then we find SC4 Terrains, aka SimCity 4 Terrains folder, and here we paste our file. Later on, you can also edit screenshots like these pre-made Maxis maps if you want to. It's not really necessary. So we are all set. We enter The Sims 2 and see that our map is in the list, but no need to rush. Of course, you can go ahead just to test and see how the map looks, but you should delete it because we are not ready for entirely custom neighborhood yet. We will need some modifications. Step 3. Downloading essential mods. Before you create your neighborhood in the game, it is necessary to have mods and fixes that can prevent your neighborhood file from errors, bugs, and overpopulation. For example, there is a no townie region mod which prevents random townies from being generated. Anti-redundancy mod helps to have one non-playable character per type of service. The unmodded game automatically generates 3, and we don't need that many sims, for instance, in delivery service. Come on, one sim is enough. Also, there is a no stray respawn mod, which prevents stray animals from being generated. If you're going to add university to your custom neighborhood, I would also recommend no dormy region, no secret society member respawn, and there can be only one professor for each major mods. Okay, I think I listed all no region mods. Speaking of other ones, I have no corrupted death memory fix, which suppresses the corrupted death memory. No unlink on Earnstone delete mod, which stops irreversible character file shredding when tombstones are destroyed or deleted. There's type loss when moving tombstones to community lots mod, which is kind of self-explanatory. I also have townies as apartment residence mod, although this one is more optional. Now we have all essential mods for our neighborhood. If you don't want to see pre-made Maxis townies walking around your neighborhood and bunch of households in your family bin, I would like you to watch Pleasant Sims tutorial video on how to create an empty neighborhood with no townies. I will not cover this part because I don't want to repeat what Cindy has perfectly explained, so you can check her video out. Step 4. Neighborhood customization. Alright, we have prepared our map, we have followed all the instructions. Now we can create our neighborhood. It's all nice and clean. If you see that there are way too many trees in some certain areas, you can easily erase them by holding escape button and pointing them with your cursor instead of clicking them one by one. I enjoy decorating surrounding areas, so I would like to list some of the custom content and default replacements I have in my game for neighborhood customization. I have season-enabled skylines by Great Cheesecake Persona, moving clouds and static sky backgrounds by Lodias. I used these two mods when I was filming the main trailer of Riverville. Skyfix by Napki, Maxis Oaks default replacement by Cricket. By the way, Cricket has a lot of amazing custom content for neighborhood customization. I recommend you to check the creator's Tumblr and page on Mod The Sims. Beautified Birches by 6 Foot Blue. You Are Still Green, the proper neighborhood grass by Voyelle. People usually use Rural Charm terrain, which looks really good, although I prefer this one more. Certainly it's all about preferences, so it's up to you what to choose. No More Blurriness by Voyelle. Maxis Buildings Light Up by Mitch the Tree. They are really good if you want to create a city or a downtown subhood. Okay, I guess these are the majority mods I use for neighborhood customization, but of course there are plenty of them on the internet. So you have full freedom to decorate your neighborhood how you want to see it. However, if you want to share your hood publicly, I would suggest you to not use them or just to keep them at minimum. I should note that default replacements are safe and decorations will just change to what other players have in their game. So no corruptions or anything harmful will be there. Step 5. Renaming the neighborhood folder. Before you begin to place lots, build houses, and create sims in your neighborhood, I would recommend you to rename the neighborhood folder first if you're planning to share it. When you create a neighborhood, it will automatically be giving the name N004, with 004 being the next available number after Veronable, which has a folder ID of N003. Well, in my case, it's N005 since I already have a neighborhood with N004 ID. You can find these folders by following this path: Documents, EA Games, The Sims 2 or The Sims 2 Ultimate Collection, Neighborhoods. The reason why we need to rename it is that other players might already have another custom neighborhood with the same folder ID, as well as I have already, for instance. Remember, we cannot have two folders with the same name in the same location. Therefore, we can simply rename it, for example, TH01 as in Tutorial Hood. Keep in mind it should contain only 4 symbols, no more or less than that. Just in case, back up your neighborhood folder before you start the procedure. Surely, we are going to rename all these files here as their parent folder, so it's better to do this before you begin to build houses and create sims, otherwise it will be way too tedious to rename all character and lot files. And here we go. Also, I would like to show you how I renamed files in Riverville folder as an example. As you see, I changed all of them to RV01. Step 6. Building the neighborhood. It's time to build our neighborhood. We place our empty lots or maybe just drop pre-made houses from the bin. For some people, this process may be tedious, but if you really enjoy building, you will totally have fun by implementing your ideas as I did with Riverville. I have already uploaded build-in by tips videos, so you can check this out for more information on how to use cheats and hotkeys which can be helpful in your building process. Step 7. Making playable sims and townies. For sims creation, I usually use Body Shop since it has more options and sliders than create a sim mod in the game. Players use different ways when it comes to create a character, and one of the popular techniques is a booklet method. I would also recommend you to watch this video on how to make amazing unique sims made by Pleasant Sims, where she is showing and telling about this method in detail. Personally, I made my playbooks for my neighborhood by simply taking some references, mixing different face templates, and using all these modifiers. Speaking of face templates, I would suggest you to download default replacements for them if you don't want your sims to have, excuse my language, gorilla faces, since I find Maxis ones kind of horrible. Alright, our sims are ready, and now we go ahead and enter the Sims 2. So we are in our neighborhood. You'll find the sims in this catalog in the Create a Sim mode. Let's set up their clothes, personalities, and family ties. And our playable household is settled. Now let's speak about creating townies. I know there are two options. The first option is that you can create them individually in Body Shop, then move them in any empty lot. After that, you need to get SimBlender. So I have it in my game. It looks like this. We place it and then I click it by a sim who is going to be a townie. We need to choose family and make me a townie option. And that's it. The sim has become a townie. We save the game and exit the lot. In the second option, we use the bullprop testing cheats enabled through cheat. If you have the user startup cheat file I mentioned in the Build and Buy tips video, then you don't have to type it. We simply click on the mailbox while pressing Shift button, go to Neighborhood, and then DBG Force Create Townies. After that, we choose Townies. The game will automatically generate 30 townies. Don't worry if the game starts to lag, it happens when it is in the process of creating sims. By the way, don't click Done Townies option, ever. For some reason, it generates sims who are 100% identical to each other, and it looks something like this. I had that awful experience a long time ago before I made Riverville. Maybe there is a fixed mod I'm not aware of yet, so I will be happy if any of you share it in the comments section. Anyway, when I was working on my custom hood, I went with the option of creating townies by mailbox, and I used Sim Boutique Clothing Rack by Christian Love to change their appearances, starting with their hairstyle and ending with their outfits. I will show you how to do it. So I generated townies and made a sim who is going to be one of them later too. I just need him to edit the sims. I have the clothing rack and we click on it. First we go to Neighbor Options, then Add Surgery Queue, and then buy clothes for free if you don't want to spend the household's money. It has a Change Everyday Clothes option automatically, but you can edit every piece of their clothes by turning on and off these options if you want to. Now we click Neighbor Buy, then Townies. A window with a list of all townies will appear here. Choose any sim you would like to change and they will be spawned on the lot. Now we can freely edit the townie's appearance and wardrobe. After that, the edited sim will go back with the new look. We do the same with others. Make this sim a townie eventually, and then save the game. So what about skills, interests, and personalities of playable sims? We can easily tweak them by simply dragging and clicking their points bar if testing cheats enabled through cheat is turned on. However, you will notice that their zodiac sign will change depending on their personality points. We can also set their career and predestined hobby by using career and interest adjusters which come with Inseminator. When I was editing characters from Riverville, I used Inseminator's aspiration adjuster and had to roll suitable lifetime one for them several times. It was a total pain, and at that time there wasn't lifetime one chooser, which came out just last year. Lamar did an amazing job with this mod, and now we can easily choose a lifetime one we would like to set for our sims. So I highly recommend you to use it. Also, we can add some details in their biography, maybe put some items in their inventory. By the way, I realized that I was pronouncing this word completely wrong. I used to say inventory, and you might catch me saying like this in my Let's Play series, but it's supposed to be inventory. Yeah, I'm cringing so bad right now with my perfect English. Oh well, it's never late to learn at least. Anyway, our sims are ready, and now we are going to another step. Just a quick note on NPC creation before we go to step 8. The game will automatically generate one non-playable character when you sim use a phone to call any desired service if you have the anti-redundancy mod I have mentioned earlier. You can also spawn NPC and townie maker through testing cheats mod while pressing the shift button and clicking your sim. We click the maker and then choose any type of NPC we would like to generate. A sim will appear, and after that we click keep option. However, I should warn you about one thing. If you choose skill option, they will not just disappear since the character file will still stay in your neighborhood folder and they will be considered as deceased. Which kind of makes sense actually, although we don't want to clog our neighborhood folder with a bunch of useless NPCs. So be wise my friends, because I made a mistake once by overusing that option and had to deal with deleting all these NPCs using Batbox, which is a whole different story to tell. Well, not in this video though. Step 8. Editing, playtesting, and fixing the neighborhood. In order to edit your neighborhood file, you will need SimPE. It is an external application which allows players to work with package files, and I will show you main parts of using this tool. Before you start the editing process, I recommend you to back up your neighborhood folder in case you make a mistake and need to restore it. You can download the program from Mod The Sims, extract the files, and open simpe.exe file. Now we wait, it will take some time to load. Okay, so we are here. We click Tools, Neighborhood, and then Neighborhood Browser. Choose your neighborhood. As for me, it's going to be Tutorial Hood. First, let's see sim description. We click it, and then we need to wait one more time while the application loads necessary files. Don't try to click anything while it's loading, otherwise this app will refuse to cooperate at all. Right, now we see the list of all the characters in our neighborhood, starting with NPCs and ending with townies. Although I'm reminding you that we should avoid editing these universal NPCs such as Grim Reaper or Therapist. They shouldn't be modified in any circumstances because it will break their behavior and even corrupt your game, so don't change anything in their files. If you see a few unknown names in your list, don't worry, they're not part of corruption and do nothing with it. These are also universal NPCs files which are responsible for remote control cars and helicopters. Instead of editing those NPC files, we may pick any playable sim or townie we have created since they are safe. We can browse their career, relationships, interests, character, skills, miscellaneous flags, university degree, chemistry system, business, Bon Voyage collectibles, hobbies, and more. You can tweak them as much as you want, but nevertheless be careful with what you're going to change in your sim. Specifically in this step, I would like to teach you how to set up a relationship with other sims, what we should do to edit family trees, how to add memories to your sims, and how to check your neighborhood file before you release it publicly. We pick our sim and click Relations. It usually shows their own household, but what if we need someone whom our sim hasn't met yet? In this case, we go to any household we would like to set up a relationship with. At first, their members won't show up because our sim doesn't know them yet. So we tick Not Related option and sims will appear. We choose any sim, then click right mouse button and add Relation to. So now our sims know each other. We can change their daily and lifetime relationship bars, tick their states such as friends, buddies, or maybe enemies. It's all up to you. Also, we can choose their relation type, if they're going to be siblings, spouses, parents, etc. Don't forget to set other sims part too, otherwise it will be only one-sided relation. After that, we click Commit. It will save the changes we have made. Just in case, you can check the second sim from the list to see if everything we have done is correct. If it's okay, we save our neighborhood file and then exit the application. Now let's see how to edit family ties. We click this in the resource tree and then go there. Family trees of every household will show up under it. We choose All Households option and then click any sim we would like to edit. Okay, now we need to find a sim who is going to be added in our family tree. We click right mouse button and then choose Add. A sim will show up in our family tree and we should edit their relation. Options are Parent A, Parent B, Spouse, Sibling, and Child. When we have done it, we click Commit. And that's it. Let's talk about memories. We click Neighborhood/memory, choose our household and click any sim for whom we are going to add new memories. You will see some basic memories and tokens. I recommend you to not touch tokens since they contain important data of your sim. You can simply move them here by clicking these buttons and then begin to add new memories after deleting these default memories. We click Create. Then let's pick Met someone. The list is quite long, so it's better to learn and discover everything at first. After that, we choose an owner for this memory, and it's going to be our sim. So we click Me here, and their name will automatically show up. Then we should add a subject. In our case, it is someone whom our sim has met. We choose any sim we would like to add here. Sometimes some memories don't require other sims as subjects. For example, here's a grow up well memory. It is relevant to our sim only, so we should choose them as a subject by clicking me here too. Usually generated memories in SimPE are positive with a green icon, so how to make some of them negative? Let's just say we would like to add a grow up memory and make it negative this time. We look for it, add it, set up the owner and subject lines, then we go to raw data and change the last number on 0 line to 0x004 instead of 0. Now it will become a negative memory with a red icon. These are the basics of editing memories to your sims. If you would like to know how to add career memories with its own icon here, we should look for I got a job memory. Then fill the owner line. Instead of choosing subject, we go to raw data again and pay attention to the lines number 5 and 6. Here is a list of jobs with specific numbers posted by Maxon on Mod The Sims. I will add the link in the description. For example, I would like to choose culinary career. We see these numbers and type them in our raw data lines. Clear this and type BD5F. Then we go to the next line and type EC9E. Make sure to check it with the numbers given in the list. If everything is correct, the career icon should appear in your Sim's memory in the game. Here we go. You can also add these career numbers with the got a promotion memory and got fired or quit the job memories if you want. You can simply copy and paste it and then change the memory itself. It won't affect the raw data lines we have modified. So these are all the key parts of working with SimPE in neighborhood creation. This tool has a lot of things to offer. You can edit objects, add new recolors to them, create new careers, and many more. Let's say we have done our editing and need to see all these changes. We can playtest it by entering the game and then our neighborhood. If everything is okay and looks how we want it, that's great. We see the result of our work. When all the editing is done and our neighborhood is ready, we have to be sure that everything works fine and there is not any signs of corruption in the neighborhood. If you finished making your hood, I would recommend you to download Hood Checker created by Mutilda. This is a tool that examines your neighborhood, looking for signs of corruption, and provides you with a detailed report of everything that it finds. We click Start, choose our neighborhood, click Check, and then Finish. Now we can see in what sections the neighborhood file has issues. The tool has a feature to fix found issues, so you can click Remove option instead of Check next time. Although I would suggest you to do the fixing manually through SimPE and use this application just for diagnostic purposes, because sometimes it tends to remove some important relations or memories of your Sims which are not connected to the issues at all. I had personal experience of losing and restoring them with the help of SimPE while I was creating Riverville. That's why I decided to mention it in the video just in case. If you don't know how to repair it manually, let the tool to handle the situation itself. But be sure to check what it has changed in your game later. After that, you can do some fixes on SimPE and playtest it. If you see no signs in the list here, then excellent. We are heading to the final steps. Step 9. Making neighborhood previews. We have finished creating our neighborhood, now it's time to photoshoot and create previews for it. Let's start with the preview image that will be shown after we click our neighborhood button. First, we take some pictures in neighborhood view after tapping Tap button. It allows your camera to move freely. I use Windows Screenshotter by pressing Windows logo key and print screen. You can work with any screen capture software you like. Then we exit the game, go to our neighborhood folder, and open this image with the help of Adobe Photoshop or GIMP 2. Personally, I have the latter one. Now we need to replace this image with the one we have picked from our photoshoot. We resize it to the original picture and voila! We save it and check it in our game. What if we want an animated preview for our neighborhood like Maxis wants? Now it's possible thanks to MR2, who created this wonderful tool that converts video files into flyovers, so we can put them in the game. We record our neighborhood while being in free camera mode after we press tab button once again. I use OBS Studio for this process, but it can be any screen recording software. Then we work with the recorded materials in any video editor. Just make sure to resize it to 4:3 resolution so the preview could be shown properly in the game. Now convert your video file by this tool, it will take some time. After that, we rename the converted file according to the neighborhood folder name and check the result. It works perfectly. By the way, I made one for Riverville too. Step 10. Enjoy your neighborhood. And here is the final step. Congratulations! Now we can play our neighborhood and share it with the Sims community. As you see, it takes a lot of effort, time, patience and passion, but it pays off really well in the end. Just remember to always have a backup folder of your neighborhood no matter what changes you're up to make in your creation process. There is a possibility to add scripted events to your neighborhood as Maxis wants, although I have never tried to do it, so I didn't include this topic in the video, but I would really appreciate your tips on it. Well, on that note, I'm wrapping up the video. I hope I covered all the key parts of custom neighborhood creation and explained them to you clearly. If you made this far, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.